Noah Lyles just ran 19.31 in the 200 meter. In this video, I'm going to break down his technique in each phase of the race, and you will learn how to improve your speed as fast as possible. I'll also give you some drills to help you improve your acceleration, top end speed, and speed endurance. My name is just Jamari on Instagram, and I'm a high level speed coach. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so getting right into it is going to be really hard to see, but if you see the circle of my mouse right here, you can see Noah Lyles is in this lane. His shoulders is right above his hands, which is optimal. His back foot is loaded, so the Achilles tendon is loaded, and then he explodes out for that first step. I have this in slow mode so we can see a little bit. Noah Lyles reaches very close to triple extension, and he keeps that foot hitting the ground as fast as possible. So when you get your foot to touch the ground fast, you actually get more time to push when you go through that full range of motion, which can really get you some more distance if you develop the momentum. And you can see he's kind of overstriding here, and a lot of people try to tell you that you shouldn't overstride, but especially for someone who's really good in the max velocity, developing as much momentum as possible is huge. So that's why you see him getting really big triple extension positions, and then he might be even heel striking, but it's really important for him because he can push, and once you can push back, you can make a lot of gains in that early acceleration. Some other key points that we want to notice here is obviously his head's relaxed once he's starting the start, and then once he actually gets those first couple steps out, his head is still neutral. It's kind of like he's just looking at his pelvis. He's looking the direction he's pushing back, which is back. So he's just chilling like this, keeping as relaxed as possible. But instead of trying to be quick like a lot of people do when they have a big stage like this, he's really pushing and getting big ranges of motion, which some people might say is bad, but in my opinion it's very good. Another thing too is that his shins are parallel to his torso, so that's another indicator that you're getting pretty good shin drop. Shin drop is your ability to drop your shin on while you're on the ball of your foot, which will allow you to push more. So while he's staying neutral right here, now we can go into a little more early acceleration where he's driving his elbows back as hard as possible. Too many people drive forward and you lose a lot of glute contraction. So he's driving his arms as hard as possible back while still maintaining his neutral head. Now if you look at every other lane, everyone's already looking forward. This guy's forcing his heads down, this guy's looking forward, this guy's looking straight up, this guy's popped up, this guy's popped up, this guy's popped up. I can't really tell. So he's the only person still pushing and still trying to maintain a neutral head, and then he slowly rises up just around maybe 40 to 50 meters. Two good drills to have a great early acceleration and block start similar to Noah Lyles are going to be single leg broad jumps and med ball non-counter movement tosses. Noah Lyles is still pushing even though he's vertical, and he's developing a lot of momentum for his max velocity phase, or top end speed is what people like to call it. Now the keys is that he's landing right under his center of mass. So this is his center of mass, is his hip, and his foot is landing directly under, which is allowing him to utilize something called elastic energy, which is pretty much your ability to be very bouncy off the ground. And this is going to help you really dial in some real good max velocity speed, and he's doing that really well. This right foot's coming a little bit farther out, like it's landing a little bit, but his knee's almost completely straight and he's staying relaxed. It might be hard to see from this far position right here, but he's still driving his arms very far back, and I could tell that his core is engaged and that he's just chilling right now. So another thing with track is that you want to turn in slightly, and you could tell all these guys are super fast, not just Noah Lyles because you ran 19.31, but everyone's turned in a little bit and leaning inside of the track, which allows you to get some more leverage to utilize the track to bounce a little more diagonally than just linear, since you're turning left a little bit more than you are just going completely straight. Now we are pretty much hard into the max velocity phase. Two good drills to improve your top end speed, which is Noah Lyles' strong point, is bounce and stiff leg pogos. Really more to the end of it, because after about 40-60 meters, you're into that speed endurance phase where you're not really getting faster, you're just maintaining your speed. We can see a lot of good stuff here. So he has a lot of good internal rotation. His foot is pronating pretty well. He's getting really good ranges of motion. His knee is coming just below hip height, so that's really good. A lot of people try to get their knees as high as possible. That's good for some people, but the more force you put into the ground, him striking the ground as hard as possible, the higher your knee's going to go, and it's going to be a lot more natural than you trying to lift your knees. It's called angular velocity if you want to look into it. So he's leaning. You could tell all these guys just why they're fast. They're leaning, and they're kind of like turning their foot into like a weird angle where they're almost facing out out inside towards the track. It's not even like they're running straight anymore. They're kind of like trying to run left. That might sound really crazy, but you'd be surprised how much, since the track is on a curve, that it will help you propel forward, right? So he's still running. You can see his face now. We can start to see if he's chilling or if he's starting to strain, and he seems pretty calm. And this is really where he turns on the gas, and now we can really see his mechanics perfectly. He's landing a little bit in front of his center of mass. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. He's landing a little bit in front of his center of mass, but still really good mechanics. Can we put this in a little bit faster speed? So he's picking up speed. He's just maintaining, but look at it. This is the keys that people don't get. He has a tall posture. He's still landing under his center of mass, and all he's doing is maintaining form. You don't see him twisting and turning and bobbing his head as hard as possible. If we can really get a close-up, he's just chilling. He's literally just letting his form follow through, and it's really working out well for him. And something that he's doing that a lot of people hate on is the overstriding portion. Like, everyone's like, oh, this is overstriding, this is a bad position. But some people's, their biomechanics are naturally inclined for you to heel strike, which is called early stance force production. And he produces a lot of force in early stance. So even if he's heel striking a little bit, he's clearly running 19.31 and he's not getting hurt anytime soon. And the biggest portion of finishing a great race is just relaxing. So we can dial this back just a little bit. You can see him chilling. He's just relaxing. There's not a lot of twisting. The core is still maintained. And like I said, he might be even heel striking. So he might be trying to get a little bit more of his heel in there so he can actually produce a little bit more force since he's more tired, which is some things that people look over. They try to run on the balls of their feet. When you produce the most force on the mid stance. That's when your foot is completely flat. That's when you produce the most force. So you shouldn't always just be trying to strike on the balls of your feet like you're a little child. Some of the best drills for the speed endurance part, that last section we really just got to grind it through, are going to be something called sprint flow sprints and the 23-second drill. This is really good mechanics. I don't think I'm going to overbake this. Noah Lyles is probably one of the most impressive sprints we've ever seen of all time. I think this is second of all time, correct? If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, second or third. Also, if you want to learn more about getting faster, check out this video right here in this video. I'll see y'all.